His name was Marcus Reed. 36 years old. Former warehouse supervisor. Full-time father to a 7-year-old boy named Elijah, a kid with curious eyes and a smile that tried to hide how much he missed his mom. She'd passed away 2 years earlier. Cancer. Fast. Cruel. Unforgiving. Since then, Marcus had learned how to braid hair using YouTube tutorials, pack lunches that didn't look sad, and stretch every dollar until it screamed. Life hadn't been kind, but Marcus never let it harden him. What broke him wasn't the grief, it was the silence that came after losing his job. The warehouse downsized. His position was no longer necessary. That sentence replayed in his head every night as he stared at the ceiling, calculating rent, school supplies, groceries. Bills don't wait for healing. So he took whatever work he could find. Delivery gigs. Night shifts. Temp jobs that treated him like he was invisible, or worse, disposable. Then one listing appeared. Private driver needed. Discretion required. High pay. Immediate start. No name. No photo. Just an address that made his jaw tighten. Everyone in the city knew that address. It belonged to Victoria Langford. Billionaire. Tech mogul. Media darling. And behind closed doors? A woman rumored to be ruthless, cold, and openly racist. Marcus had heard the stories. Drivers quitting mid-shift. Assistants walking out in tears. One guy claiming she refused to sit in the same car seat after he drove it. Marcus closed the listing. Then reopened it. He looked at Elijah asleep on the couch, clutching a worn-out superhero toy. The rent notice on the fridge. The overdue electricity bill. He applied. The interview lasted less than 5 minutes. No handshake. No smile. Just a sharp stare from a woman dressed in flawless white, eyes scanning him like a faulty machine. "Do you drive well?" she asked. "Yes." "Do you talk?" "Only when spoken to." She paused. "You'll do." That was it. No welcome. No instructions. Just a contract slid across the table and a start time written in red ink. Marcus signed. Not because he trusted her, but because his son trusted him to provide. No one warned him how quiet the car would feel. Not the peaceful kind of quiet, but the kind that makes your chest tight. The steering wheel felt cold under his palms as he waited outside a mansion so large it looked unreal. This wasn't just another driving job. Every driver before him had quit. Some didn't even last a day. And now, it was his turn. He was a black single father with bills stacked higher than hope. He didn't have the luxury to ask questions. All he knew was that the woman he was about to drive for was a billionaire, powerful, feared, and known for one thing everyone whispered about but never said out loud. She hated people like him. Still, he took the job. Not because he wanted to, but because his son needed him to. What happened behind those tinted windows would change both of them forever, in ways no amount of money could control. The first day was worse than he expected. Victoria never acknowledged him by name. She called him driver. Or worse, nothing at all. She criticized everything. The way he parked. The temperature of the car. The music, even when none was playing. Once, she wiped the door handle after he closed it. Slowly. Deliberately. Marcus noticed. He always noticed. But he stayed silent. Because silence paid well. Each morning, he dropped Elijah at school with a smile and picked him up with stories about superheroes. Each night, he folded the same uniform, pressed it neat, and told himself it was temporary. But the cruelty wasn't accidental. At a stoplight, Victoria once said casually, "I prefer my employees presentable." Marcus glanced in the mirror. She was looking at his skin. Another time, she snapped, "Don't get comfortable. People like you never last." That one lingered. People like you. Marcus felt something twist inside him, anger, humiliation, exhaustion. But he swallowed it. Every mile he drove felt heavier than the last. Until one evening changed everything. They were running late. A storm hit the city, traffic choking every street. Victoria slammed her phone down. "Unbelievable," she hissed. "I should have known hiring you was a mistake." Marcus's grip tightened. "I'm doing my best." She laughed. Sharp. Cold. "Your best has limits." Silence filled the car. For the first time, Marcus spoke, not loudly, not angrily, just honestly. "My son is waiting for me to pick him up." Victoria froze. She hadn't expected that. "You have a child?" she asked, almost irritated. "Yes." She turned away, uninterested. But something had shifted. That night, Elijah asked, "Daddy, why do you look tired even when you smile?" Marcus didn't have an answer. A week later, everything unraveled. Victoria collapsed in the back seat. Sudden. Silent. Marcus reacted instantly, pulled over, called emergency services, held her upright while she struggled to breathe. At the hospital, he waited. Hours passed. Doctors rushed in and out. Assistants whispered nervously. For the first time, Victoria Langford looked small. Vulnerable. When she woke up, Marcus was still there. She stared at him. "You stayed," she said. "Yes." "Why?" Marcus hesitated. "Because someone once stayed for my wife when no one else did." Silence. Something in Victoria's expression cracked. Days later, she requested Marcus again. But this time, she spoke differently. She asked about Elijah. Then about Marcus's life. Not kindly. Not warmly. But curiously. She watched how he answered. How he never complained. How he never raised his voice. Slowly, her tone softened. One afternoon, she overheard Marcus on the phone helping Elijah with homework. "You're smart, buddy. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise." Victoria listened. And for the first time, she looked uncomfortable. Weeks later, Victoria handed Marcus an envelope. Inside was more money than he'd ever seen. "This is a bonus," she said. "And an apology." Marcus didn't speak. "I judged you," she continued quietly. "I was wrong." Marcus nodded. That was enough. Marcus left the job months later, not because he was pushed out, but because he no longer needed it. He found better work. Stability. Peace. Victoria Langford never became kind overnight. But she became aware. And sometimes, awareness is where change begins. Marcus taught his son something no paycheck ever could. That dignity isn't given. It's carried. And sometimes, the bravest thing you can do is stay human in a world trying to make you hard.